I wanted to take some time out to show you around one of my favourite gardens. Now, it's located here in Perth. It's right next door to the very famous Wacker cricket ground, and it's been a destination for West Australians for over 117 years. They've been coming here to enjoy the beautiful gardens. Come on, let me show you around. This was a very different place back in the early 1900s. The locals loved it for duck hunting, and it was the first site for some horse racing here in Perth, although during the wintertime it became so boggy and gluggy, they realised that the clay below would be better used as an asset in building this new city. So a brickwork started up here. But by the 1880s, it was almost exhausted, and two talented gardeners, a Sydney gardener and landscaper, Mr. A.W. Farris, and Perth's head gardener, John Braithwaite, were invited to look at turning around the damage that had been occurring over the last 100 years and turn it into a beautiful garden. And the result was that in 1899, the then City of Perth Lord Mayor, Alexander Forrest, opened Queen's Gardens, named in honour of Queen Victoria in her Diamond Jubilee. And despite time, today these beautiful gardens are better than ever. Some of the original planted trees grown from seed and planted back then have reached some level of maturity, and the bunya pine is a highlight for me. Now, this tree can grow 30 to 40 metres tall, and the nuts produced by the tree provided northern Queensland Aboriginal people with a high-level protein source that was used to make bread. They can grow as large as 8 kilos. Can you imagine an 8-kilo nut falling from 40 metres high? This place is a plant collector's paradise. It's got beautiful Chilean wine palms and jacarandas from South America. Over the back, an African tulip tree and cycads from Africa. In fact, everywhere you look, you'll find plants collected from all over the world. This represents a time when people used to travel the world to bring plants back to create beautiful gardens just like this. Weeping willows would have been a reminder of England for many people back then, and the trees are still stunning today. Alongside water, this is just a beautiful sight, softening the landscape with their flowing foliage, and the ponds, well, they're alive with water lilies that provide sanctuary for aquatic critters and birds, including WA's own fauna emblem, the black swan. I'm a little old-fashioned. I love the traditional rose garden and annual flower planted garden beds. And this traditional style of gardening is maintained here today with stunning seasonal displays of flowering annuals and warm season displays of roses, much the same way it was seen by visitors here over 100 years ago. If you happen to make it across to Perth, make sure you take some time out to get away from the hustle and bustle of a very fast developing city and check out beautiful Queen's Gardens. It's a gorgeous spot on the eastern side of the city. It is walking distance from the CBD, and it's a great insight into a time when politicians looked at a plot of land and said, what will this be like in 100 years' time? How is it going to improve the life of the people that live here? It really is beautiful. Check it out.